Charts are a great way to visually present information. Access has the ability to create charts in both forms and reports. Its charting is not as strong as Excel, but it may be enough for what some people are looking for. To create a chart, I'm going to click the Create option in my ribbon, and I'm going to create a chart report. So in the Report section, I'll hit Report Design. I'll then maximize this report and click in the Detail section. To insert a chart into a report, in the Controls group, there's actually a button called Chart, and I'm going to click the Chart button. And then I'm going to click in the Detail section. The first thing that the Chart Wizard asks is what is the name of the table or the query that the chart is to be based on. This is to be based on the table campaign, which happens to be selected, so I'll click Next. Then it wants to know what fields you want to include on your chart, so I'll choose Campaign Name and hit the greater than. I'll also choose Fundraising Target and also hit the greater than. And these are the two fields I want to include on my chart, so I'll click Next. At this point, we have a variety of charts that you can choose from. It's not as extensive as Excel, but it might be enough for some people. I'd like to choose a 3D column chart, so I'm going to click 3D column and click Next. What we have now is the ability to double click the sum of fundraising target and set it to none. But first of all, I've got to add it. Here it is here, so I double click it because I don't want it to sum. I just want it to show the values as they are. If I double click it, I can change it from sum to none and click OK. And then I'll click Next. I can type a title and I just want to call it Campaign Targets. Oops. And click Finish because yes, I do want to display a legend. And here is my chart here. It's not entirely exactly how it will actually look, but it's the best that Access can do. I'm going to right click the chart and then left click Properties. And the sorts of things I want to do is set the width and the height of the chart. So I'll set the width to 14. And in my list here is width, and I'll type 14. I'll set the height to 10. And I'll close the property sheet. If I double click the chart, I can modify the chart. And if I double click East, I'll be able to set the font attributes of this chart. Just double click it again. If I click Font at the top, for example, I might decide that I want to change the font to size 10 because it's too big at the moment. And I'll click OK. And that's a little bit more reasonable. Now on my vertical axis, I might double click one of these numbers also and change the font size to 10. I'll also double click the legend and change the font size to 10. And I'll double click the title and change the font size to 14. I always find that it makes everything really big and clumsy. And then I'll click away from the chart because I've finished changing it. If I wish to see how the chart looks, I need to go to the View tab on the far left of my ribbon and hit the drop down and choose Print Preview. When I go Print Preview, here is my chart and how it will look. I can then close Print Preview and continue to make any changes. For example, I could make it wider, taller, bigger, and I could double click it and change certain attributes like the type of chart. I can change it to perhaps a bar chart or perhaps a line chart and back to a column chart. If I don't like the options in there, I can go to Chart in the menu and choose Chart Type here. And I'll go back to this type of 2D column. And OK. Ultimately, I click away from the chart when I've finished making my changes and I Print Preview if I want to see my changes. But I'll close Print Preview and I'll save this particular report by hitting the Save button on my Quick Access toolbar and call it RPT Campaign Chart. And close the report. Whenever I need to see the chart, I just double click the report and I can view my chart. And these will change as the values change in the underlying table.